The following podcast will contain spoilers, tangents, hot takes, and excessive foul language. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
Greetings, horror fans, and welcome to episode 356 of Frightmares. I'm your host, Austin Proctor, and joining me today for 2022 Satanic Hispanics, we have 3 out of 5 directors, starting with Eduardo Sanchez, who may as well be a co-host at this point, back for his 3rd episode. How are we doing today, Ed?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me back.
Of course, thanks for coming back. And he has brought along 2 of his friends, other directors from Satanic Hispanics. We have Alejandro Bruges, if I'm saying that correctly.
Bruges.
Okay.
Bruges.
Okay.
Bruges.
God. My Spanish pronunciation is terrible, so please bear with me. And then, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you. Happy to be here.
Awesome. And then last but not least, we have Mike Mendez. How are we today?
We are good. How are you? Hello.
Doing good. Like I said, so for anybody listening, this is not typically how we do director interviews, but I was not going to say no to Ed bringing along some friends because this movie's awesome and I wanted to get more exposure because trust me, everyone in my circles has heard of this movie. They're like, oh yeah, I've seen the poster, haven't seen it. And I'm like, well, you know what? I can't be that mad. I just watched it for the first time this year. But it seems that it's very well known, but no one in my circles has seen this movie. And
that tracks. I believe that. That sounds, yeah.
And it's readily available on Shudder. Like Shudder's a pretty big streaming service for us horror geeks. So yeah, I'm going to recommend.
And Tubi, I believe. I think it's on Tubi as well. So,
okay. And Tubi's free.
Easy to find.
So you have no excuse. You have no excuse.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for everyone listening, we are going to, we'll be talking about spoilers. So, and that's always in the text description of the podcast, but I wanted to specifically state it here. So if you haven't seen it, stop what you're doing, go to Shudder, go to Tubi, watch it, and then come back. If you've listened to the show for since the beginning of the year, I mean, Ed has been on twice this year, I believe. Or no, we had you on for Blair Witch, and then we had you on back for Exist this year. So we know about Ed and his background, but I'd love to talk about Alejandro and Mike here. So what is your, we'll start with Mike. What is kind of your background in horror? Like, where did it all begin for you? What was the first movie? Like, what impact did it have as well?
Well, I often wonder if this is a thing of nature versus nurture, of like, if it's something that you're exposed to, if you're just kind of born with it. So I would argue that some of us are just kind of born with it because no one else in my family has the attraction to darkness that just I from as early as I can remember. I just love vampires. I just love werewolves. I just love monsters in general. So but I would say that I think horror movies scared me at first, and I was exposed to a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have, like Carrie and The Hills Have Eyes when I was like 3.
Oh God!
And I think yeah. I say this all the time, but one of my first memories is the canary being like squeezed and drank is like literally one of my first memories. So I think that stuff probably.
And then you saw it happen in the movie.
Yeah, totally, exactly. But I think it was things like The Thing. And American Werewolf in London, and the Howling, that very quickly became my favorite films growing up. And I was like about 8, about 8 or 9 when I saw that stuff, and I just loved creatures and wanted to become a creature creator. And then by high school realized that was a very expensive endeavor, so I chose filmmaking, which is also an expensive endeavor, but slightly cheaper.
Yeah, it's very cheap. Yeah, it's a cheap endeavor, man.
Cheap. All right, question then, since you mentioned 2 iconic werewolf movies, which one do you prefer, The Howling or American Werewolf in London?
That's which child which is your favorite kid, right? So.
And also, no, you're putting him in a bad position because he also knows both directors.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like you
totally.
don't make him choose.
All right, fine.
They're both excellent.
Yeah.
They're both wonderful. Yes.
I'm like they're both pretty equal to me because I enjoy the story of the Howling more, but I mean that transformation in American Werewolf in London is literally iconic. So.
It's a very funny film, very funny movie.
Yeah.
All right, Alejandro, what about you? Where did it all begin for you in your life?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Argentina. I think my love for horror actually started when one of my uncles brought home Evil Dead. I think I was about 8 years old, which is exactly the age to watch that movie. And it changed my life. After that, I was like trying to get my hands on every horror. But by the way, he also brought home Deep Throat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a very funny uncle. It's like Cuban uncles back in the 80s, that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I only remember watching Evil Dead.
Weird.
The rest,
Crazy.
yeah, the rest is a blocked out memory.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Come here, my nephew. Come here, my nephew. Sit on my lap. Let's watch some movies.
Let me show you my favorite movie.
I remember getting really drowsy, and then I woke up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is going great already. But yeah, so it was Evil Dead. Evil Dead because it was the one that I could watch without getting drowsy. And then without any pains afterwards. Jesus!
Wow!
And then I started watching all the horror movies I could. I remember like some of my earliest memories are from movies that I forgot their titles, and then as I grew older, I had to track down. One of them was The Fearless Vampire Killers by Roman Polanski, which is a horror comedy, but back then for a young kid was just a horror movie. I it freaked me out, those vampires. I remember like flashes of Lucio Fulci's Zombie. The scene with the eye, the bridge at the end, that kind of stuff, and pretty much the same. I tried to watch every horror movie that I could. I never thought about making horror movies because growing up in Cuba, no one did genre until I had the idea for One of the Dead, and I was like, okay, let's make one of these, and yeah, it's like I haven't looked back.
And here we are. Yeah, I tried to watch as many things from you guys as that were readily available. So I did see.
So sorry.
I did see. So One of the Dead was not available for streaming. I think I was on Amazon for a rental. So I went to the next thing I saw, which was the E segment from ABCs of Death 2 that you did, and then The Thing in the Woods from Nightmare Cinema, and then Puka Lives has been on my list, I mean, literally ever since it came out because I really loved the first one. Let me tell you how I was not expecting the tonal shift from a straight up psychological horror movie to one of the just like most fun horror comedies I've seen in quite some time. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Because I was like, a sequel to Puka seems weird. How are they going to do that? I don't know how they can continue the story. And I was like, oh, that's a fun way to do it for sure.
But the funny thing is that both, if you think about it, Puka, I mean, ABCs of Dead, the first one also had Nacho Vigalondo, and Puka, obviously, it's a sequel to Nacho's Puka. So one of the things, and I'm friends with Nacho, so one of the things I did when I got Puka was ask Nacho, "Are you cool with this?" And then I proceeded to shit on his legacy. So I'm waiting to see if I have a chance of making Colossal 2, Colossal or something like that.
I love it. Okay.
I'm trying to find, because I do have a Nacho mask around.
Oh, no way.
You have a Nacho mask, not a Puka mask?
I do have a puka mask, but I have a
That's what
nacho
you're
mask.
looking for.
I have a nacho mask. I found they were selling nacho masks on Amazon for $5 for some reason that I will never understand. But you know, I see a nacho mask and I had to buy it. So and I actually took it to set when I was directing Puka. There was one night where I was directing as Nacho.
I love it.
That's creepy.
The rest of this segment is going to be him looking for the nacho mask because all of us got to see it now. Now it's been.
I know. Now
because I've known Alejandro a long time. I have the slightest fucking idea what he's talking about. So I'm like, what the hell is the nacho mask? So anyway.
Oh, it's a nacho mask. Okay, no. I'll find it.
And then Mike, I did. So it's funny. One of my buddies recommended the Convent from 2000 this year to me. So I picked up the Synapse release that they did of it.
Excellent.
Let me tell you how that shot up to one of my favorite movies, like one of my favorite B movies about like demons. It is so much fun, so wacky. I loved the Friday the 31st segment in Tales of Halloween. Totally flipping the script on slasher movies with the UFO invasion. That was amazing. And I'm like halfway through Big Ass Spiders, and then I had to go run an errand, so I didn't get to finish that one. But the comedy is there in all of your films, just like Alejandro. Like your comedy hits and everything, and I love the consistency between doing your own film and doing a segment. Like you can really tell like you made those because there's a very specific tone that they all have.
There's a reason we all get along, so we do like the silly shit. You know?
Well,
yeah, it's terrible.
And that's a perfect segue into Satanic Hispanics, and I'm sure this question has been asked. I listened to a podcast where it has been answered, but for anyone listening that does not know, how did this movie kind of come to be? Was it one person approached everybody else, or kind of tell me the process of getting this movie going?
Yeah, so oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ!
God!
No, you're sitting here with director Nacho Vigalondo.
I feel like this is the South Park segment. I feel like you're gonna have fucking sex with Satan, you know?
Oh my God!
I don't know. You found that on Amazon?
Yeah, and they also had like a full size, but that was like $80. I don't need a full size Nacho card. What is it called? Like the
like a standee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't need a full but you know the mask was $5.99, and I thought it was a good investment.
Yeah, no, that is so random. Did they have anybody else?
I don't know. Like I don't know why this was there. And I don't know why I don't have like an Ed mask or a Mike mask.
You should. I'll send you an Ed mask.
I like that. There's obscure Latino directors. I like that there's a whole like chain of masks.
Yeah, there's a whole section of that.
Coming soon to Spirit Halloween.
I wear the Nacho mask when I go outside in case I get stopped by ICE. I can be like, I'm Spanish.
Yeah. I want a Paco Plaza really badly. Anyway, all right. So going back.
Hey, while Mike does this, I'm gonna go pee real quick. All right.
Okay. All right. We'll count down. Why did you turn the camera off? Jesus Christ!
Wow.
All right. So
he has a bucket. He has a bucket right under the desk.
So how it came about? So I had worked with Epic Pictures. Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. I worked with Epic Pictures on Tales of Halloween, which was a lot of fun to kind of just collaborate with your friends and tell different stories and have a certain amount of control over it, which is kind of nice. So they had asked if I'd be interested in doing another anthology, and really kind of depended on what it was, because I feel there's so many at this point, and there's a lot of really good ones. And so what could we do to make it stand out? And one day I was talking with Alejandro, and he said, he doesn't remember this, but he said, when the hell are we going to make Satanic Hispanics the All Latino horror anthology? Because we used to refer to ourselves when we would do these like low budget music videos for our friend Norman Cabrera. It was often an all Latino crew, and so we'd refer to ourselves as the Satanic Hispanics. And when Alejandro said that, it just made absolute perfect sense. It was just like, yeah, when are we going to make Satanic Hispanics the all Latino horror anthology. So the first person we asked was our fellow, Alejandro's fellow Cuban, Ed, and he was kind enough to jump on board. And then we asked.
I didn't ask. I said we're making an anthology with Mike called Satanic Hispanics, and you are in it.
Yeah,
I don't ask that kind of. And by the way,
nah, he doesn't ask. He never asks.
I want to point out to our listeners that he came back very quickly from the restroom, and I don't think he washed his hands.
No, of course not.
And just finishing up, the third one was Gigi, and then Alejandro asked. We were big fans of the movie Terrified, and Alejandro bullied Demian Rugna into doing it. He had some dirt on him.
Bullied is right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually glad he's not here because he's traumatized me enough with his movies that I don't know if I can face him just yet. I think I need some more time.
I actually had
I
had a writing session with him after this. So I'm talking to him today, and I was like, oh, why didn't I ask Damian to be here too? But his English sucks, so it's fine that he's not.
And he's like real filmmaker, so he's actually
right, exactly, yeah.
He's a serious guy. He's deep. No, he's not.
No, but you should meet him though, Mike, because he's like the nicest dude that you'll ever meet.
But you know what's funny? And I don't know if this is a horror director guy or maybe it's these Argentinians, but working with him the other day, I was wondering, we were doing video, and I was wondering how does this work on a chainsaw? And he was like, oh, let me show you. And he turns around and pulls out a chainsaw.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck?
came prepared. He was ready.
Yeah.
Why do you have a chainsaw lying next to him?
Did he have an answer? I'm actually curious about the answer.
He has a house in the countryside, so I guess when you're in the Argentinian countryside, you go around with a chainsaw. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have a chainsaw, Ed?
I do have a chainsaw, but not next to me here. I have it upstairs in my tool room. I could bring it if you want to see it. I have 2 different chainsaws.
I might feel more comfortable if we had a chainsaw. I don't know.
All right, I'll grab it afterwards.
I have a hammer of Zanzibar, but not a chainsaw.
I don't know. It's better that you don't have a chainsaw, Mike.
Yeah, probably. I have a chainsaw upstairs, but it's fake. So that's not cool.
Same.
Demian is the nicest dude, and he's and it was funny because I really bullied him into making the movie because he was like, oh, I have another thing and I need to shoot it and I don't know if I have the time, and I would have these 40-minute sessions with him like a therapist sitting in my car being like, yes, you can do it. I'm not arguing this. You can do it. And he was like, well, but I need to finish the movie and then take a month off and then shoot this. And I'm like, why are you going to take the month off? You already have the crew. Just finish the movie and shoot 4-5 more days and shoot this. And that's what he did. And the movie was When Evil Lurks. Oh. So he shot our segment and back to back with When Evil Lurks.
Okay, yeah, that's the movie. I mean, Terrified is where it started because there's one jump scare in that one that haunts me to this day, and then he traumatized me more with When Evil Lurks and the dog scene because you're like it's I feel like it's gonna happen. I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen, and then it does, and I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna recover from that. And
by the way, he keeps the. Well, I mean, we all keep the props, but sometimes I'm working with him, we're writing, and in the background it's the fat guy. The bloated guy from When Evil Lurks sitting on a couch, and he also had the kid from Terrified, and he would leave it sitting on the dining room when he left home. He would leave home, so if someone was going to rob his house, they'll probably think twice.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, that's the best home defense right there. If we're being honest.
I'm jealous of his dead kid collection. He's got a few dead kids, and I'm like, that's cool. So anyway, yeah, but kind of envious.
He can probably send you one,
right?
I don't know. That'd be amazing. Oh my god, yeah, I would love it.
Yeah, it'd be great to see you go to the airport and say, "Hey, I'm here to pick a dead kid."
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, I love that.
So yeah, going into this one, knowing who did the segments and starting with his, I was like, oh God, here we go. I'm going to be traumatized all over again. And it starts off so unassuming. And I was like, okay, maybe this won't be. Oh no, there it is. Yes, and it's just like, God damn it. Every time I watch something of his, I'm so nervous for everything. But something that I feel is important about the anthology is, of course, the wraparound segment. It is the anchor to the film. So I'm wondering, did you go through many phases of, like, in development? Were there different ideas for the wraparound, or how did we end up with the one we got? Because I think it's a very unique way to kind of tell the stories the way they did.
Oh, thank you. We needed a wraparound, basically. We had the idea of, like, kind of doing these kind of lore of Latin America. And I just always had, you have different ideas that you don't know what they're going to be, if they're going to be screenplays, if they're going to be, whatever, an idea you never do anything with. And I had this idea about this immortal guy that could travel the world, providing he had to keep moving, and the angel of death was always after him. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And I love the Terminator and love the police thing. And so I was like, all right, so what if you kind of have to, doing the wraparound, you have to kind of like bite the bullet, and you're not doing the fun one, but hopefully if you do your stuff right, at the end you could just go off and do whatever you want. So that was kind of the carrot of the thing of like, look, as long as you can make it engaging enough and carry it through, and the performances are there and everything, at the end we can kind of go nuts, and that'll be my reward for making the film. So that's what we did, and Alejandro liked the idea of the traveler and whatnot, and so we kind of put our heads together, and then it was born. So
yeah, the moment he mentioned the traveler, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That has to be the wraparound.
Yeah, there's a movie.
Yeah, and yeah.
Go ahead, Ed.
No, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
And I mean, we've all seen, a lot of anthologies, and the wraparound, unfortunately, it's the hardest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because people are like, oh, like, get to the next film, and sometimes they're like, oh, I don't want to sit through this,
And I felt
Mike's was so strong. I mean, it's just it's probably, I mean, I don't know. It's one of the strongest I've ever seen. Probably the best, wraparound. I've seen.
That's
just,
it's
like, it's like, it's like story time. It's a perfect, like, thing for like, oh, here's this story and here's the next story, and then it ends with a fucking crazy ass, violence and gunplay, and it's just so much fun, so.
And back in the early
kudos.
Back in the early days,
I was telling him, I'm sorry, but quickly, I was telling him all the time. I was telling him, you cannot fuck this up.
Yeah, no, it's true. Because if it doesn't work, it's the other ones are I feel I'd let everybody down, and so it felt like very important. Like, we had to get this right, because if that through line could carry, then I felt it would be a good thing for everybody else. So but everyone came through. Yeah, everyone kicked ass. So
back in the early days of VHS, they had really stronger segments. The one that sticks out to me the most is VHS 2, because it does kind of what yours does. It wraps around, and then what's happening to the characters watching the films comes into play at the end. But they have really lost their touch in that franchise with doing a wraparound segment. The wraparound now is just another segment that's really unrelated to everything else. So
VHS is 2 the one that has that stupid segment with the zombie running with a
the thing in the woods with the
terrible one. Yeah, that's terrible.
For anybody who doesn't know, Eduardo directed the short A Ride in the Park, VHS 2, just in case you're not getting it.
And in all fairness, I think VHS segments have actually kind of improved because they have bigger budgets now. But yes, right. I think the wraparounds have kind of been forgotten about, So, but it was something why we wanted to focus on it, because we felt a lot of films do kind of forget about that, and felt it was kind of an important thing. So
yeah, like I said, it's the anchor of the film, and then this one I love that the ending is just so bonkers. But how did we get Efren Ramirez? Everyone knows him as Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite. How did we get him involved with this one? Because I saw that, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Pedro. But
right,
yeah, and then I got like an actual shot of his face. I was like, oh, it is. So how did he get involved with this one?
Well, there's a super long story that I won't tell about how I tried to stalk John Leguizamo at a convention and paid like $300 so I could pitch him. while he signed my photograph, and
Okay.
then I gave him the script, which I'm sure ended up in the trash shortly thereafter. And after that was a complete failure, I was like, fuck, we need somebody to be the Traveler. So I asked my good friend Greg Grunberg, who was the star of Big Ass Spider, and was probably the first person I cast as the cop in this. And he just knows everybody. And so I said, hey, man, you're my casting director. So who do you know that would be good for this or whatever? And he's like, oh, my God, you got to send it to Efren Ramirez. So we sent it to him, and I got a message back from the Traveler. And there was music, and there was mood, and he was in the character, and he was speaking Nawal, and he was really going full on with it. And I just like people that are committed. That gets me excited. Like, this person actually wants to do it. So even though he was best known for Pedro, he seemed very committed to it. So I was just like, okay, yeah, you got it. So
I mean, I haven't really, the things I've seen him in typically are comedies, and so to see him in a more dramatic role, and he crushed it. I thought he did.
He crushed it. Yeah,
he's really good.
He has fantastic comedic timing. So
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Between him and the two cops interrogating him, I didn't expect the wraparound. Honestly, I didn't really expect there to be so much comedy in it, even though I know there's always comedy in most of your guys' movies, but I just didn't expect it to be that funny. It was funny from beginning to end, outside of the first short film, because that one horrified me, but they all had little bits of comedy. And then Gigi's as well was a bit more serious, but the how you place the segments too is another huge thing for anthologies. And you start off with one that is horrifying, and once you set that tone, you're like, okay, how much darker are we going to get from here? But then you come in with El Vampiro, the second short, and you're like, oh, this is hilarious. Okay, so like that tonal shift, I was like, oh, now I'm happy again. This is great. Everything's fine. And then you get to Gigi's, and it's a little bit more serious and a little bit more folklore-y. So the placing the segments is very important. Was that a team effort in trying to figure out how they should all go together? I'm assuming everyone kind of worked together on that to be like, which one should go where.
You want to take that one, Alejandro? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we fucked up.
Because
because that's what we do. I don't know if you have noticed.
Yeah. No, originally the Gigi's was supposed to go after the Mians, and
yeah. So originally it was. I think the idea was always to start with the Mian and finish with me, but Gigi, like the way we saw it. Listen, like we had the screenplays. Sort of had the screenplays.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the Mian didn't write his until like the very end, and he sent us like one paragraph, and we were like, okay. So we sort of had an idea, and we wanted to go, like originally we wanted to go from less supernatural to more.
Okay.
So it was going to be the Mian, Gigi, Ed, and me. But then when we saw the movie, we were like, oh, I mean, it starts very serious. Like the first half of the movie is very serious and in Spanish, and the second half of the movie is all comedy and in English.
And stupid.
And stupid, yeah. So, because, it has the two Cubans, and and we decided to switch because as everyone has probably learned, and you will learn after today, never have the two Cubans together.
You gotta separate them, man.
Yeah, so we also first Mike and I saw it, but then we were like, okay, I think we have to do this, but let's run it by the others. We sent the movie to the others, and everyone was like, yeah, there's a structural problem there. So we switched those, which was very easy for Mike to do. Because obviously when you plan a wraparound in a certain order,
right. It was a little challenging, but overall I think that was okay. I think the thing that was surprising to us is how we didn't notice at a script form that the first half of the movie was in Spanish and the second half.
Because we didn't have. But we didn't have the.
But it's amazing that it didn't cross our mind until we watched it. Like, oh,
oops,
fuck.
I'll tell you why. Because all of us speak Spanish too, and it wasn't until we watched it with English speakers,
right?
Because that screening we were with with the epic people, that's when we realized, first half of the movie is in one language and second half is in another.
Okay. What was the decision to put, because like you said, 2 are in Spanish, 2 are not. What was the decision for using Spanish versus English?
Well, I mean, I'd say that because Damian is in Argentina, and it just kind of came out to where you were shooting, Okay. So Alejandro and I are in LA, Ed's in Maryland, so it's just it's an English speaking crew. Actors are easy to come by. In Argentina, like, good luck, trying to make it in English. Okay. And then I thought, like, Gigi, do yours in English, but she shot in Mexico and had the same issue of like, there's no fucking American actors here, like, what do you mean do it in English? And then for some reason we thought, and now I kind of regret it. We're like, can you just have a little bit in English, just so and so we have like one moment in English, but now as I watch it, I'm like, that's unnecessary. But oh well.
I mean, when the anthologies that I've been involved with, there isn't. I mean, you want to give the filmmakers like freedom, so it's kind of like, hey, everybody come up with ideas, and then you sort of come up with a plan, and then you just let the movies happen, and then you kind of work it out in the end. Like even the order. I mean, it was everything that I've done. They've always switched the orders around, and that's kind of fun. But I know with Mike, since his stuff was so like targeted, I was really amazed, like the job he did with like just he seamlessly swapped the things without any problem. So I really love that about it. So yeah, but I mean that's kind of like the nervousness and like kind of the magic of anthologies is that you don't really know exactly what the hell you're gonna get, and sometimes it's a good surprise and sometimes it's a bad, So
yeah.
Well, funny enough, I had the last director I had on was Ryan Spindell, who did the Mortuary Collection, which is another anthology.
Fuck Spindell.
Oh no! Oh, we've got some beef. What happened?
Fuck Spindell. Yeah.
Yeah. That motherfucking good guy.
Yeah.
Alejandro hates everybody.
Has the nerve of being
what a piece of shit. You know what he does? He directs his own anthology, all the segments, because he doesn't want any other director to take the spot. And he doesn't want anyone else to shine. Only he can
He's
shine.
Selfish.
And he didn't have any other Latinos in his, so
yeah, he didn't have any Latinos.
Yeah.
As you can see, Spindell and I have sort of like a Kendrick Drake thing going on, where he is Drake.
Okay.
But I love Spindell. I love him. And by the way, Mortuary Collection is like a fantastic. It's one of my favorite anthologies. My favorite anthologies.
I asked him, I was like, why do you hate yourself? Like, why did you do all of this stuff by yourself? I mean, there had to have been so much work, and he explained how it happened, and he basically worked backwards from each short and then found a way to weave it all together. And I was like, oh my God, so much happened with that movie.
He's not a brilliant guy exactly. He's very nice, not brilliant, but he's very nice. Yeah.
Oh goodness. So the first chapter that we see of everyone present is Ed's El Vampiro, and it's chapter 3 technically. Now I got some very heavy, like What We Do in the Shadows kind of vibe from that, just because with how funny it was. My wife even was like, you know what, my headcanon is that this El Vampiro and What We Do in the Shadows, same universe. And I was like, I could see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I love that show. I love that movie. And, it was something that Pete Barnstrom, the writer, sent to me. I was looking for, I was like, what am I going to do? And I was originally going to do something serious for this anthology. And then this idea came up and I was like, oh my God.
What was your serious idea?
It was like, I can't even remember what it was. It was like a kernel of an idea, like just something. I was going to do like a period thing or something, but I don't, it never developed. And I'm lazy as shit. So this script came by, this kind of treatment came my way, and I was like, oh my God, this would be perfect. And then, and it was just because I knew exactly who I could get to play El Vampiro. Hemke Madera and I are good friends from Queen of the South, and we were always trying to look for something to do together. I was, I had directed his wife in a music video like a year and a half before. And I just called him up. He kind of owed me a favor, and he's like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." And it was cool. I mean, he, for somebody to come and actually they had to come twice. Him and Vanessa had to come twice. But it was just, he was just perfect. And it was like one of these things where you don't even have to like direct them. You're just kind of like, hey, you know who this guy is. And he added so much to it, and he was such a good sport too, because it was cold. We shot it here in Maryland. It was cold, and he had to have, there was he gets egged. And we're like, we're doing like low budget, really low budget films. And so the wardrobe department wasn't like super experienced, so they actually kind of kept the egg thing, so that the egg shirt started stinking. I mean, it's like these, there wasn't like an idea, maybe you should paint the egg on. It was just like, hey, let's just keep the egg shirt. So the egg shirt was just stank the whole time. But he was such a good sport, and appreciated, and just such a cool performance. And it was great to have him come all the way to Maryland to do this. So it was fun.
Yeah, I recognized him immediately. I was like, "Oh my God, that's Ignacio from Weeds." That's where I immediately recognized him from. And this is why I don't trust Google sometimes, because it was really hard to find out. Obviously, they're in the credits, but I was doing it while I was watching the movie, and Google had it all wrong with who did what segment, and it said that. Oh wow! Yeah, it said Alejandro had done El Vampiro, and I was like, okay. But then when I found out it was Ed, I was like, oh wow! I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Most of your movies are pretty serious. You have, Exists does have some comedy, but this was so goddamn funny. It was like, it's like an entire different side that I haven't seen, because even, I've seen pretty much most of your movies are all pretty serious in tone. So it was nice to see this just wacky, fun vampire story.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, I really kind of relate more to like, Mike and Alejandro's, body of work than my own, really, because I mean, like Evil Dead 2 kind of changed my life, as far as like, because I was like, unlike these two guys, I was not
also Deep Throat.
Yeah, Deep Throat. I definitely remember Deep Throat, but not the movie though, not the movie. But I was not really a big horror fan, because I was just kind of scared. And Evil Dead 2 was like, hey, it can be fun and fucking, comedic and action filled, So I always felt that's kind of, I'm like, if you see my movies in film school, they were mostly, not horror, but mostly comedies, action comedies, that's what I really loved. So it was really cool to be able to like just do a straight out, comedy. And, it was just, again, it was very unlike, what people have seen from me, but it's more my wheelhouse really than anything else, honestly.
Well, and even the story too, it was great. It's a vampire out on Halloween night, and he's like, this is the one time a year I can enjoy myself in public. But the hilarious twist on it is he gets his call from his I guess his wife or though
his whatever, yeah.
She's like, it's daylight savings time. You have like 15 minutes to get home, and I'm like, oh, this is so fucking hilarious. And the second I said, why doesn't he just fly? I was like, he can turn into a bat, right? They literally said, she's like, why can't you fly? He's like, oh, it's been a while. I forgot how to do it. And I was like, oh, they answered my question immediately. I was like, okay. And him running down the road, trying to be like turning into a bat. I was cackling laughing. It was so funny. And even the whole scene where all the body parts are everywhere, and the cops come back there, and they don't realize it's real until he tastes the blood, and then he's going back and forth trying to shut them down with his, I'm enthralling you, or whatever he was saying.
Yeah. His mind control.
It was so good. So I really enjoyed. Thanks, I really enjoyed that one. So the next one would be Gigi's, but she's not here. So then we have the Hammer of Zanzibar, which is
oh my god,
what an incredible name. All the other ones I was looking through, I was like, okay, vampire, got it. And then I was like, the Hammer of Zanzibar, okay, we're going weird with this last one, and it was weird in the best way possible. And I didn't realize it was Jonah Ray for so long. I'm used to seeing him in like Destroy All Neighbors with the glasses, because he's even in Puka Lives, but he's got a beard.
He's like, is he like Clark Kent?
Yeah,
glasses,
and I was like,
disappeared.
yeah. So I've seen 3 different things from him recently. He had a beard in Puka Lives, and then he had no glasses in this one. I was like, man, he really is like, you take those glasses off, he's so different. But
I'm gonna tell him then.
yeah, because he was also in. I talked to Josh Forbes earlier this year about Destroy All Neighbors and how he got involved with Jonah Ray. So you've kind of been working with Jonah in a few projects. Did you meet him like a while ago and just became friends, and you're just like, you're going to be in my movies from now on?
No, actually, we met in Puka Lives. But I love Jonah. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing like like I would say like Scorsese, De Niro, like the cheap, very cheap. Damaged,
the cheap version, yeah.
It's like the bootleg.
Yeah, the pirated version.
Not
the porn.
It's like the Timu Scorsese.
I loved working with Jonah and Puka, and after we did Puka, I remember one night. One day I called him in the morning and I said to him, I had a dream.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You turned to him in the morning and
Jonah.
I said, I had a dream, which is probably not the best time that phrase has been used. I said, I had a dream in which you were beating a demon's head with a demon's dick. And which would also make a rousing speech.
My uncle was there, but ignore that.
Yeah. and I think, and I said, and we were making a movie in which you were doing this, and then I was like, we should do that. And I one day I was reading about demons, as you do, and I read about the Popobawa, which is a real demon. You can look it up. It has a Wikipedia page, and he does exactly what he does in this short. And originally, I planned that as a movie. I wanted to make everything that it's told in the short. I wanted to be like in a movie, it was gonna be like a Kill Bill, like all the different chapters. And there was one chapter which was gonna be what happens in Havana, and one chapter was gonna be the Hammer of Zanzibar, and it was about this documentary crew that goes to Cuba to shoot a documentary about Santeria, and they film something that they shouldn't be filming, and somehow it gets out and they unleash something. So I had this idea, and I remember when we were thinking about our shorts for Satanic, I was in Vancouver prepping this movie, and I said, Mike, I have this very stupid idea, and I told him, and he was like, that's fucking awesome, you should do it. I was like, you want to get me canceled? Let me talk to the others, and I mentioned it to Demian, to Gigi, and to Ed, and they were all like, "Oh, that's fucking awesome! You should do it," because they all hate me.
Yeah,
and
then we read the script and we were like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be." You gotta push, the borders. You gotta cross the line if you're gonna, that's what anthologies are for. So Alejandro definitely went for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that was probably the best way to end the segmented version of the story, because you're just like, I just watched a guy beat someone with a demon dick, very big too,
I also have it here. I also happen to have it here behind me. This is the Hammer of Zanzibar. It's 24 inches long, 18 insertable. And this is the original. Mike has the other one. Like we based it on Ed.
Yeah, well, you had to size it down a little bit. But yeah, it's basically mine. Yeah.
The molding section was really uncomfortable, but
Which, by the way, it was sculpted by Norman Cabrera, who also did San La Muerte from Mike's segment, and who's one of the best sculptors in the industry. He has done a bunch of Guillermo del Toro's movies, including Hellboy. I remember when we were sculpting the Hammer of Zanzibar, he was sculpting, he was working on the hammer, and I was asking him, when you were doing Hellboy, what did you guys talk about Hellboy's dick? And he looks at me and he's like, we didn't talk about Hellboy's dick. And I'm like, what the hell do you talk about?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Is it made of
it's
stone?
like, what's wrong with you people? Why aren't you talking about that? So it's like, but no, it was a very fun segment. The actors were great. Jacob, I think, was amazing as El Jefe.
Yeah,
and that's when we knew we had something special, because like I remember our sound guy hadn't read the screenplay. It was just like there for that short.
I mean, why read it?
Yeah, exactly. It's the sound. And what we shot first was Jacob's monologue. And I remember when Jacob was doing his monologue and it gets to the Popobawa part, the sound guy, he was buried there with his headphones, and suddenly he looks up like, what the hell did I just hear? He was looking around like, what are we doing here?
What kind of movie is this?
Well, and you it was a little bit of a challenge to cast that role, right, Alejandro?
Oh, it was super challenging. Like again, it was a little bit what happened with Mike. I wanted someone else first, but there's a lot of Latino actors said no to this role. We went to a lot of people, and they said no to this role. I'm not guessing. I'm pretty sure it's partly because most Latinos get cast sadly as tough gang members and that kind of stuff, and they didn't want to be the guy that had the loving relationship
with a demon,
with the Popobawa.
Apparently, they're against sodomy. Who knew?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking
Pedro Pascal, passed.
No. We did have no. Don't touch Pedro. Those
he might have done. He might have done.
I'm pretty sure he would.
But I feel like it can't be this. But in my head, I feel we had like 26 passes. But I don't think.
No,
it
had 10. We had 10. We had 10.
Okay, all right. Wow. I it was double
10. Really, 10 passes?
Wow. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is bad, including Danny Trejo, which was
That was our first. But and by the way, I do think. Things happen for a reason. When you're making a movie, it's not just with me. Look at what happened with Mike. Like, I cannot imagine a better traveler than Efren right now. And the same way, I cannot imagine a better Jefe than Jacob.
He was perfect, man. He was perfect.
He killed it. He killed it when we were laughing so hard while shooting that scene. And even when I talked to him for the first time, I knew he understood perfectly the assignment. Yeah, it was super fun. Everyone was great. Jonah, I love working with Jonah. He was fantastic.
Yeah, he's got great timing with his comedy. I mean, how many takes do you think it took you to get that done seriously? Because, I mean, I can imagine everyone during that monologue had to be just cracking up hysterically. But did it take a while, or did you guys get through it quickly?
I mean, we didn't get through it quickly because it was like 11 or 12 pages. Right. So it was, and I shot it from I shot it from many angles. So it was like a long time.
And Alejandro kept laughing at his own script. So he was the one that was just couldn't hold it.
That might have happened. Yeah. Usually I don't laugh at my stuff because, by the moment you're doing the jokes, you have seen them so many times. But if there's something that I still chuckle when I watch it, it's the Hammer of Zanzibar. I'm very proud of that one.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, and also his performance is just like, you can't help
the reactions.
Yeah, reading it on paper and having someone deliver it is, I feel like it's
different.
Yeah, it's different. The way he delivered it, you're just like, oh my God, he's so serious. And, Jonah Ray and they were just like, I don't know, this is kind of strange. It sounds like you were in a relationship with a demon who then kind of ghosted you. Very, very odd. But I love that because it takes a serious tone and then just slips slowly into comedy the more the monologue goes along. And then by the end, you're like, oh, there's a whole penis here. This is insane. So, I can see the Evil Dead influence there for sure. But is there any is the folklore part of Argentinian folklore, or is it kind of pulling from somewhere else?
Well, no, it's Cuban folklore.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
Yeah, I was born in Argentina, but I'm not Argentinian. I'm Cuban.
What other country could that come from? Really, if you think about it.
Well, I told you the Popobawa is a real demon from Zanzibar, and he does sexually assault. We made it more consensual. We made it a deep loving relationship for the movie. But it's a real demon in Zanzibar, and all the other Santeria references are also based on Cuban Afro-Cuban religions and voodoo. Yeah.
Okay.
Like King Zombie is actually Zombie Mpungo is actually from voodoo, I think. But I had to throw it in because you have a bad guy called King Zombie, you sort of have to use it.
Yeah, and I love the transition from where everything's happy and they're in the restaurant and all of a sudden he's like, I don't think any of this is real. Like, why would you invite me here? And then the color grading shifts or the lighting shifts all to this dark, bleak, and she starts clapping. She's like, oh man, I thought I had you there. That was an incredible scene, how it went from this happy kind of just dinner to, oh, now I've got to defeat a demon with a giant dick. So I really love the pacing of that one.
Yeah, I wanted to make that as a movie, and that was going to be the opening.
Oh, okay.
And I actually, you know what? I actually remember I pitched that to Sam Raimi because I was like, I want to do some sort of Evil Dead spin-off where we have the Caribbean cousin of your Kandarian demon.
I love that.
But we ended up making it.
And he was like, did you say a giant dick, buddy? Oh my goodness, I'm in. I'm totally in.
So Ed, what about you for El Vampiro? Where were you pulling any folklore from? Is because like I said, I'm not very well versed in stuff like this. I'm just curious, maybe where some of your
it was basically imagine if because the Dracula thing is so well known, and it's like you can't it's not it's very mainstream. So I just basically took that and just said, all right, imagine if Hemke Madera, this Colombian, this Dominican, vampire, what would his life have been? He's lived for 400 years or whatever. So it was just kind of it was the backstory was pretty easy, and then I just, luckily I hired the right, actors, Patricia Velasquez, who knew Hemke, she came on board and they already had a relationship for many years. And it was they were just they just went right into the old couple, just kind of, busting each other's balls. And, so basically I just, I did that and then just let the actors, kind of run with it,
Yeah, because she was also wasn't she in The Mummy, right?
Yeah. That was a big movie for her.
Yeah, which was incredible. I know there's just a lot of people. I was like, wow, I was like, I know you from something, and then I look it up, and I'm like, oh, there it is. Yes, obviously I knew Efren Ramirez immediately. Well, it did take me a second because I hadn't seen him in anything in a while, so it did take me a second there. But everyone in this I feel was just perfectly cast, and it seemed to just come together so well. If you didn't have those 10 passes and got someone else, it could have been an entirely different thing for Alejandro Short, but everyone is so good. Even the two detectives were really funny. I know Detective Arden, he was in Big Ass Spiders. Right. Yeah, and he's really funny. But something is hilarious for me is what's her name? Sonia Eddy. I recognize the cadence of her voice. I'm like, I know this voice. And it's because she was on a few episodes of Seinfeld back in the 90s. And I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. She was also in a recent VHS where she was that game show segment from VHS. She was in that. So I love the arc of her doing TVs and stuff like that to going into horror movies. I thought that was so excellent.
But damn, you're good if you could get the cadence of her voice from a Seinfeld episode, because I seem to remember that was like she's like a meter maid or something like that. I forgot what she was, but like it wasn't a huge role.
She's in like 2 or 3 episodes where she plays Rebecca De Mornay, and she just like, I don't know, the tone of her voice, it's just so etched in my brain because I watch Seinfeld all the time. So it was just funny making that connection. I was like, wow, I never expected her to see her in a movie like this. But yeah, the whole thing comes together very nicely. And then the ending is, I got very spaghetti Western kind of vibes from that ending with, I'm blanking on the name. San Muerte. Yeah, very almost like Sergio Leone-esque, because that look you had. Oh my God, I loved the look of this like demon, I guess. Is it a I mean, you know, a lot of credit goes to Norman Cabrera, who did the Hammer of Zanzibar, like we mentioned.
Okay.
He gets overshadowed because he did the Hammer of Zanzibar. You know,
right?
The
exactly.
Hammer gets all the attention. You know.
Yeah.
And there was 2 kind of looks that we kind of went for. One was kind of the kind of more spaghetti Western kind of Jodorowsky kind of look with the hat and the mask when he comes in, because we like the idea that he can I think it's funny that he travels to be incognito, yet it's this ridiculous huge thing that would stand out anywhere, but whatever. We have to go with it. So that was kind of the one look, and then they start shooting him and the mask blows off and the stuff comes off, and then we see that it is actually this kind of ancient deity that's supposed to look like it's made of stone or something like that. So it was 2 different looks that he did. So that was a lot of fun to kind of create, the creature itself and then kind of the disguised creature or whatever, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, and then the ending sequence of just walking through and holding his hand out, and then everyone's just shooting each other. It was just so cinematic. It's like slow motion. There's this beautiful singing behind it, and then Efren comes out with that gun, plugs it one time, is like, all right, I'm out of here, I gotta go. And then the movie kind of ends how it starts. You know, if I don't get out of here in 90 minutes, we're all gonna be dead. I love when the plot circles back around and references something at the beginning, because then that even ties it together even more, because of the fact that it's an anthology and you need that wraparound, but you're also doing that reference like, we could stick around, but I don't think we're all going to be here. So
right.
And it kind of makes me wonder, like, would the possibility of a sequel ever, like, would you ever be up to doing like another Satanic Hispanics kind of thing?
Up for it 100%, but nobody went to see the movie, so therefore
that was the problem.
Okay.
Therefore, the demand was not too high for it. So sadly, it is very unlikely, as much as it was very much designed for the traveler to continue and tell you different stories from different countries and all that. But yeah, sadly, box office is king, and
Was Shudder involved with that one at all, with like distributing or anything?
No, it was eventually became a Shudder, exclusive.
Okay.
But after our own theatrical.
But not when we were in production or anything.
We had the same company that went much better for them. That released Terrifier.
Terrifier
2. Iconic films, and so we were like, they had a lot of luck. And then we put it out, and then we were like, Because fun fact that like Latinos love horror movies, and so a huge portion of the audience for most horror movies are Latinos. So we're like, we will utilize that, we will harness that. They will come to see our movie. But I think Latinos kind of in their own way told us, like, we're good. We like the movies other people make. That's fine with us.
Man.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it was. It's a shame. It's a shame because like every time I have like a stupid idea, I tell Mike, maybe we should do another one, and this time someone needs to get a weapon for something, and they go see El Jefe, and he's like telling another story of another relationship that he had or something.
That would be cool. That would totally be cool to utilize that the guy from that short, because he had a whole store full of stuff. I mean, you could just go through.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it Conjuring style and talk about all the stuff in the room. That would be amazing.
Yeah. He's like the Ed Warren of demonic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because I find Satanic Hispanics very fascinating, because they're the only other fully like Hispanic directed anthology I can think of is, I'm probably going to butcher this, but it's Mexico Barbaro. Is that correct?
Mexico Barbaro.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's just Mexicans. Fucking just Mexicans. Just Mexicans.
No,
we tried to do it from everywhere. That was the idea. I mean,
right.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Technically, it's correct, but that's just like just Mexicans. So yeah, we tried to. And by the way, like we had a list of like fantastic list of more Latino filmmakers. If we had done more, like there's so much wealth of talent in Latin America. Because if you think about it, the only one repeating would have been The Traveler, unless from time to time he needed a dick joke. But yeah, so the idea, if we had more, was to keep bringing more Latin American talent.
And there's even more talent in Latin America, because they all got deported out of America. So.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a mess here. Let me tell you, it's such a mess.
So that's where we would be looking, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a very important film, and I think it's important to put that kind of diversity out there, because it's just not something that's really done. It's very not unpopular. It's very what I'm looking for.
It's rare. It's rare.
Yeah, it's rare that something like this happens, and it just kind of breaks my heart that it didn't get the, like I said, everyone has heard of it in my circles, and no one, for some reason, they just have not watched it. So it's just I wish this movie would just get that recognition, because I feel it's very important to highlight directors from all over the world. I think it's a fantastic idea.
We did get protested, which was
great. Yeah.
Really? We got protested by a Baptist kind of like church in Kansas. And I wasn't sure if they were more upset by the Satanic or the Hispanic part. I'm not sure which part they had an issue with. But they did it. I kind of, maybe the movie was ahead of its time. It would have been fun to get the Trump administration to talk shit on it. That would have that would have made me very happy. But sadly that.
But also remember there was a petition in change.org by a Latino guy, boycott Satanic Hispanics film. He got 13 signatures. Which made us feel bad. We wanted to add some of our own signatures.
Him to get at least 100 or 1,000, like
666 or something.
I can put the link here. It's a little bit late for that, but maybe to give him a boost.
I mean, I think his efforts worked.
Yeah.
I think people did point out.
Did great. Yeah.
Well, the thing that I really do appreciate, though, is that it at least has a very solid 3.0 out of 5 on Letterboxd, which is, for an anthology movie, is very good, because most anthologies, even all the VHSs, are in like the 2.7s, 2.8s. So you do have a good strong rating on Letterboxd, and there's a lot of positive.
Oh, we went down. It was 3.4 or something.
Oh, really? I never go on Letterboxd, so this is news to me. So that's exciting to hear. So.
Yeah, Mike. I used to go a lot. I haven't done it in like a year or something. But one of my favorite things was to send Mike the bad reviews. It's like, why are you sending me this shit?
Right. I'd look at the other ones at Twitter, at any other ones that I could look up, or Rotten Tomatoes. I'd find them, but he'd go. It feels like you're going into people's homes to like, hey, I'm looking for bad reviews.
Well, here's a glowing review from Lily ING, 5 stars, said, love the gay demons and close to divorced vampires. So there's a positive.
Go Lily.
Review. Yeah.
Yay.
Go Lily.
Right.
So
oh, wait. I have a 1.5 here. Let me see if there's something good for Mike.
That's good. That fucking wraparound. Jesus Christ.
The jokes felt like they came from the cutting room floor of the George Lopez show. Okay.
Ouch.
I like this. Let me see.
people get really brutal with the.
Oh, like, that's why I avoid them.
They'll just do like a sentence or two, and then that's it. They don't even fully go into what didn't work. They're like, "Fuck this," and blah. It's like, good.
No, everybody's a critic, man.
Yeah. Deep Throat was better. Alejandro's uncle. Everybody. I mean, it's
Well, that's why I like to refer to myself as more of a film enthusiast than a critic, because I'm always looking for the good in movies, and even if I don't like a movie, I will find at least one thing that I did enjoy and at least highlight that. But this through and through was just such a fantastic time. Unfortunately, my wife, she's by 9:00 she's out, and it was like 9:05 and falling asleep on the couch right after Gigi's short.
Oh man!
And I was like, oh, you're gonna miss the Hammer of Zanzibar, which I didn't think was gonna involve a demon dick, but I figured it was gonna involve some Thor. Something.
It's a good day night.
I mean, the kids going to be at the parents this weekend, so I think we're going to throw that on, finish it. So
right.
Make sure she gets her fill of the Hammer.
Oh yeah. Wait. It's okay. This is a great bad review. It's like it says. For instance, El Vampiro is by far the cheapest, but also the funniest. The Hammer of Zanzibar is nearly Latino-free Tarantino fanfic amateur hour.
Wow.
Decent prosthetics and great school fight choreography. Yeah, that's right. That sounds about right.
Wait, they said that El Vampiro was the cheapest?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, they're all pretty cheap.
Only salvageable, but look, it says really only salvageable for El Vampiro. Let me see.
Wow.
Wait, let me see if they talk shit about Mike. I love when they talk shit about Mike.
Oh no.
The rest of the show was just Alejandro looking at bad reviews. It's a good time.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. Okay.
Anyway, I think it's time to, maybe it might be time to say goodbye at this point if we're reading.
If we're reading letter reviews. Just one more question for you guys. Then, is there any behind the scenes stuff that fun stories from set or anything that you guys would like to share? I always ask that because answers vary, and it's just fun to ask.
Gigi's set, we weren't there, was reportedly haunted by forest sprites. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
They had to do some witchcraft shit to cleanse.
There were voices and equipment would go missing and all sorts of crazy things, and they had to put out candy.
Yeah, equipment would go missing and then reappear on eBay.
Yeah, it's like weird.
Yeah. Hers was I don't think I really got hers as much because I looked up what the title meant and it said shapeshifter. Is that correct? Is that what it was about? Okay. Yeah. So I liked hers, but I felt like I didn't understand it. I don't know if you can provide maybe some context if that would make sense to me. But
I think that's better for Gigi to explain.
Okay, that's fair.
You should have her on the show.
All right, I'll reach out to her.
There you go. Because it took us a long time to get it, and basically one day she had to explain it to us. So you're not alone on that.
Okay.
But she wanted to kind of go more for kind of a visceral experience, fever dream kind of thing. So
yeah.
Sometimes you don't.
it's not
you
really
need to explain. It's more like a feel.
It's more ambiguous. Yeah,
not really connecting the dots there.
Okay.
And it's so well done. It's so beautifully shot.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic director.
I think if you listen to the commentary, if you have the Blu-ray and listen to the commentary, I think she explains it in that. I think.
Oh, there's an actual physical release of this.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'll be buying that.
You listen to commentary? I never listened to that.
I only listened to it when we recorded it.
Oh, okay.
Gigi wasn't with us, was she?
We all took turns. We all we were like like an anthology. We were the radio DJs, and we kind of talk about our shit during that. And then when the segments came over, they would take over.
Didn't we record at your place where you're sitting right now, you and me? I remember doing that, but
then they would come in. I don't remember if we did it separately or they did it separately, but I'm pretty sure everybody. I don't know if Demian did it, but I think everybody else had a commentary on there.
All right, well,
I'm gonna have to go look it up, and
I mean, I don't even remember doing a commentary, but what do you I don't remember half the shit I do.
Do you have any good story, Ed?
I mean, the only thing, it's not a really, it's, Patricia, she came in and she shot one scene and then she tested COVID positive and, shut us down. And
that's a really funny story. Let's
all relive COVID.
And then we all got COVID. A couple crew people died. It was a real laugh fest. No, but nothing. I mean, it was mostly just battling the cold and that damn egg shirt. That just was stinking up to high heaven, and
I mean, at least you were outside for most of it, so I guess that's good.
At least, yes,
and then and sometimes in a dumpster, so I'm sure the dumpster smell might have masked the egg.
Yeah. No, we did well. I mean, it was fun, but no, nothing crazy happened, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know. Mine was fun. I mean, you have fights, you have blood and all that. It was just really fun to shoot. We did have. I remember we had Jonah. When he was fighting the demon Morgana, he hit Morgana with the actual hammer of Zanzibar. In one of the takes, he clocked Morgana.
Oh shit!
And the take made it to the film, of course. Like there's one real.
Real hit.
Yeah. Was it the tip or was it the balls?
A tip.
Tip. Okay, just the tip. All right.
Yes, the tip.
The balls would have been.
I think that would have been a KO.
That would have been the end of
it. I don't remember if we had anything. I mean, there was so little time, and we were running so much, and I don't know if there's anything like. It was just a fun, very fun shoot, but also very, very stressful, very tiring because it was like a lot of work for only 4 days. And so,
yeah, well, I can't recommend this movie enough. It not only has incredible segments, but all the segments are shot very well. You can see your style, every director's style in each one, and overall, as an anthology, it just is very, it's very cohesive with how it is presented. A lot of times with VHS, they can vary in quality and camera, but all of these just looked so consistent. So it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's got a really good final act with Stand La Muerte. So I recommend this to anybody who has Shudder or Tubi. I mean, you have no excuse if it's on Tubi. It's literally free. You don't have to pay for shit. You just have to watch ads. And for an hour and 52-minute movie, that movie flew by because the pacing was just so incredibly done. So anybody listening, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched it, that's on you. I told you to go watch it at the beginning of the show. I mean, we didn't really spoil too much though, honestly. So
no, I don't think so. Yeah.
No.
I like how you are like these are really great. I'm totally much better than VHS. So VHS is like in a 7 or 8 movie right now. There's a ton of directors there that are gonna come after us. Suddenly someone runs over Mike. We won't know which.
Right,
I know. Suspects.
And Gigi actually did a short for VHS. 85, which was a really good one, and then
Betrayal. That's
a good one. She loves the folklore deity like vibes. I love it. Like it was really good. And
she stuck the knife on our backs and really twisted the knife.
Turned on you. But she also did a segment in Mexico Barbaro as well. I'm pretty sure. So she's been well versed in the segmented horror here.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all I have for you guys, unless there's anything else you guys would like to say about the movie or any projects or anything in the future. If you guys got anything, let me know.
All right. Well,
Don't watch. Oh no, that should have been 3 years ago. Now there's no more because you didn't go watch it.
That's true. That is true, sadly.
Yeah. So go.
All right.
Go to Tubi. Go to Shudder. Go watch this movie. It is just a really good time. Ed, where can everybody find you on social media if they'd like to keep up with you and what you're doing?
I mean, the best place is the Facebook page Hacks and Films.
Okay,
but I'm rarely on there, honestly.
It's like MySpace.
Yeah, I'm still.
Right,
yeah,
totally.
I'm trying to bring MySpace back, man. Come on.
Yeah, where we were all coding and getting all these cool graphics and stuff on our screen.
Yeah, remember that?
What about you, Alejandro? If anybody wants to follow you and your journey in film, where can they find you?
No, I'm not on social. I exist on social. I used to be on social, but I actually asked Jonah to change my passwords because I didn't want to be on social anymore. So I exist on social, but I'm not on social. I don't have access to my social, so don't go for me. If you want to follow me, you have to do it the old way, stalking me.
Okay.
There you go.
No, I love that.
So
It's
not hard to find. I'm the tall Cuban guy walking around. You just come after me in a car, honking your horn, parking in front of my building.
Yeah.
Good old binoculars.
Okay.
I can
through the window.
you can see me. Yeah.
I love it.
That's
Mike,
the way.
what about you?
You can finally, probably Instagram is the best one, at Madman Mendez, and that I think also applies to Facebook. It's pretty much, most of them are at Madman Mendez. I left Twitter thinking like, this place is done, it's over. Twitter's still very much around. I went to Blue Sky, but now you can be one of my 300 followers on Blue Sky.
Okay, there you go.
So that's good.
Yeah, you can follow us on Facebook, basically every form of social media except for Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at frightmarespodcast. You can also follow me on Letterboxd at Dr. Proctor. Anybody on Letter? Someone said they were on Letterboxd, but they didn't. You said, Alejandro, were you on Letterboxd?
I don't access it.
Okay.
I exist, but I haven't added movies or anything in years. So.
Okay. So if you want to check me out on Letterboxd, it is Dr. Proctor. This is going to be the last episode for the year. So
Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year. Next year we've got a
pretty sure good things are going to happen next year.
Oh yeah, very good.
This year's been so much fun already. I'm not internally dying every day. Next year our theme is going to be very fun. We have a year theme for doing monsters, a new monster every month. January is going to be haunted houses, and we have a whole curated list that I will release month by month. So until then, guys, stay tuned and stay spooky.